Out for at least 6 months, Steve Diamond reckons. Injury suffered on test duty with the Los Pumas. Here's Williams. Randall, a little pump on the ball, and then introducing Captain Harding. Genge, the baby rhino. Oh, lovely ball to Dunn, who's galloping through. What an offload that is. Williams scores a belter. Slick velvet Bristolian hands. And they silence Kingston Park inside 6 minutes.
12, come here. Make sure your arms stay up the whole time. Bind! Set! Nine, use the ball!
Randall again with outside back, sliding down the left. Van Rensburg unleashing Lane, who's galloping deep into the 22.
There are sidelines.
Randall again, Harding carrying again. One last push for maximum points. McGinty seeking out Malins! Exquisite! It is pinpoint perfection from A.J. McGinty. Malins skates in for a double, and it doesn't get much better than that.
I'm not sure if Max Malins knew.
It's just a little indication to Bristol, this is how we're going to play. You might have to just adapt slightly how you set up your back three.
Batley with line-out ball for Bristol, and here goes Ibitoye. Doesn't need much space, heading for the try line, the power and the momentum, and the Bears striking in the 2nd minute of the evening. Gabriel Ibitoye. A small gap, big points.
You cannot give that man any sort of gap. Such a fantastic running style, but he's still got so much power. The speed off the line, a little bit of a disconnect.
Fitz Harding, still Bristol moving that point of attack as much as possible. Dunn on the charge, pumping those legs.
Just a bit slow to get their defence in position, Gloucester. Need to be careful, they can't get any line speed.
Great footwork from Harding, good power as well. Marmion away, and now they move forwards, options to the right. McGinty ducking onwards, charging forwards. Still they're close, the pick and go. Fed back for James Dunn. Gloucester trying to come hard off the line. Dunn burrows onwards. Marmion, Van Rensburg, McGinty does well to get that away. Malins again! It's the game that keeps on giving.
Wow, what entertainment, but also what precision under massive pressure. The Janse van Rensburg line here is outstanding. Comes back to where the defenders are to hold them and just turns on the pass. Wade.
Wonderful noise. Bristol pouring forwards to the 22. Malins accelerates. Rich Lane! Points down they were. Scores level. Conversion to come. Opposition playing with a man down. 7 minutes to play.
Oh, missing Christian Wade on that wing.
He was given a workout last week, wasn't he? That wasn't terribly straight.
Two receivers,
it's fair to say.
There were 2 receivers. There was you and one other.
Either way, the numbers didn't stack up in the eyes of Christoph Ridley, so Bristol given an opportunity here. Lovely ball floated out in front of James Williams. They've released Ibitoye. Danger all around. Over the top he goes. Williams goes wide. Here's Malins. Cannot stop scoring at the moment. 5 already. And the season has barely started. Bristol tearing out of the blocks 90 seconds in.
This guy is a try machine at the moment. Since he's joined Bristol Bears, he cannot stop scoring.
Ted Hill deemed surplus to requirements at the moment, but what a talent. Oh, Ogre finds Batley. Randall for Harding, the captain. Into Pepper. Brought down by Annett. Luatua running the dummy line. A lovely angle cut by Grondona. Could go all the way here on debut. Dreamland for the Bears, and particularly for Santi Grondona, fresh out of the Rugby Championship, fresh onto the wreck, and bang under the sticks.
Hell of a finish, hell of a carry from Grondona.
Well, judging from his legs, he's got a bit of power in him.
22 years old and fresh out of Durham University, where he was a box Super Rugby superstar. And it's another university star, Faye Waboso, who races back to gather that one. And you can just feel the excitement every time he gets his hands on the ball. Well, there's a head-to-head worth the ticket price alone. Ibitoye up against Faye Waboso, and the ball just about recycled by the barnstorming Bristolian winger, Marmion. Through the hands of Luatua, out onto the wing, and there's something on here, and here's that Bristol. There's going to be an almighty chase on from Hodge, but it won't be enough. Not by half. And a Bears flag driven into Devonian turf. Kieran Marmion, wearing 9, takes the opportunity with both hands and slams it down.
And this is absolute quality from Bristol Hawkins, far more physical.
And it's the overthrown line out, lands in the breadbasket of Janse van Rensburg, and now McGinty. Bristol back to 15. Wing finds wing. Bates onto Ibitoye, the basketball pop pass. Oh, look at this, all the tricks coming out of the Bristolian box. Props in tandem now. Woolmore onto a pinwheeling Laheef. Marmion over to his captain, Harding, who carries half of Exeter with him. The offloads away. Absolutely essential tackle there from Ross Vincent. That's a try saver and a half. Caulfield, rested and full of intent and menace, and determined to make his mark on his reintroduction. Luatua finds Ibitoye in off his wing and 6 metres shy. And weathered the storm of that yellow card really well, Bristol. So much pressure. They've not been up this end of the field in what feels like a lifetime. Harding. Now Ibitoye ducking a shoulder, and Hammersley is driven backwards and ultimately upended by the power of the winger.
11 black offside.
11 black offside, never on.
Advantage going the way of Bears. It's a little pass off the chest of Luatua. Straightening is Janse van Rensburg, and splashing down in the corner is Joe Batley. Coast to coast go Bristol Bears. It's a swashbuckling score that puts them straight back ahead.
Well, as soon as Matt Carley was playing advantage, you knew that Exeter was struggling.
Yellow card for the Exeter Chiefs, and a visit to the sin bin for number 16, sponsored by Clearseal.
Janse van Rensburg charged down Skinner, just turned to see where the ball had landed, but the answer was in the hands of Bates, who is bouncing and ricocheting through the midfield. And look at the line speed there from Vincent, but the ball's away, and with Ogre, and he scored a rolling maul try last week. He's produced something that is pure fireworks this time around. What overthrown line out. Well,
When you make a mistake, bounce back, do something positive. What a line picked by Ogre. It's a poor attempt at attack.
With the restart and returning it with interest. There's an added urgency to Bristol now as they get it wide. It's the way they know, it's the way they sparkle best. Harding, who's rootling for it now and just helping out at the breakdown, talking in the week about how they've taken the handbrake off. They've given themselves permission to lose, so long as they do it the Bears way. And this is the Bears way. Heads up rugby from McGinty. It lands right in the arms of Gabe Ibitoye.
You have a view of that pass.
No, I wasn't
having a look now, mate.
We're going to head up to the TMO and check that everything is all right with that one.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get it back.
Well, from everything I saw live, this is all good.
Now, and again, they've got themselves into open space, looking to flex their attacking muscles. It's Benjamin Elizalde there, placing it backwards on debut for Bears. Another Argentine who's caught the eye of Premiership coaches.
Ball available.
Well, Exeter been shortened up defensively again. Bristol heavy on numbers.
Here he is again. He's a real talent, Lamb said in the week. Michael Checker had a good look at him while he was still a teenager ahead of the last World Cup. So prodigious is the back. Speaking of talent, Janse van Rensburg finding Ibitoye, two of the most dangerous athletes in the Premiership, in glorious, glossy, galloping tandem. An utterly scintillating bit of top-draw rugby magic.
There is no way this should happen, but that offload...
Hoisted high, Brown Bampo had eyes for it. Manages to prove enough of a disruptor to slow this for Bristol. Genge tips it on. That is a lovely pass and a fabulous carry from young George Kloska. One of the 10 academy products in the matchday 23 for Bristol. They're doing this without Malins, remember, and without Williams. Two of their stalwarts in the backfields. Elizalde. Well scragged by Woodburn. So at home in that outside centre defensive berth, and now Randall always alert to opportunity, and Ibitoye will have his hat-trick in what has been the most topsy-turvy and entrancing of affairs. The Lees changes yet again. He's the hat-trick hero. And you get the sense there might be another couple of twists and turns in this one.
Wow. I'll tell you what, Harry...
Daly. Oh, very nearly lovely. Instead, it's O'Gray for Bristol. Grondona, Fricker. And Lane looking for some width. And missing the accuracy. But it's still Elizalde who bounces off. Oh, and Elizalde's found the space. And Randall. Not for a millisecond can you defensively take your eye off these Bears. And Saracens split asunder in a split second.
That's one missed tackle. One missed tackle, that's all it is. We see it again now, I believe it's Elliott. Daly does great footwork on the inside. His offload doesn't...
Some work to do if they are to be winners in match 600. Bristol in the mood again today. And Bates finds Ibitoye. Oh, and Ibitoye just snaking his way through up to halfway. Oh, no! You're not allowed to do that. Joe Jenkins back to Ibitoye. And it's still working. And this is O'Gray. Ball went backwards, that pass in the middle of all that, and then Randall ripping it away to Batley, and here goes Harding for a hat-trick! We're going to have to rewind that. Does anyone believe what we've just seen? These Bears, this game, that try!
Would you just slow down and say that again, mate, because a lot of noise coming in. Yeah, I'm just checking for you.
Ibitoye has had an absolute highlight reel so far in this game.
Saracens just picking around the edges at the moment, but again it's Batley on the floor. He's having another stormer, Joe Batley. Oh, and now Randall. And sure, not another for Harding. Oh, and now Harding gets it away. Oh, and the work of McGinty, and Fricker's in space, and Bristol are going to score another. Bristol are going to score another banger. A don't know what they're paying for their seats inside Ashton Gate today, but it's not enough.
I bet it's brilliant to be a Bristol player these days. You can just tell whatever environment Pat Lam has created, to just play what's in front of you. It's what you do as kids, and you get to the professional game and you suddenly feel the need to be more restricted. But not at Bristol, I love it. And Harden to be able to express himself.
Lure to her, but look how hard Kemeny was working.
Let go. It's just a knock-on advantage, 9. It's a knock-on only.
He was knocked on by Kemeny, so this is the advantage that Bristol are playing, and then that looked like it was knocked on by Ravouvou. But we are playing on. Officials deciding that it went backwards, so Marmion and Bristol still live in hope. Bates, who's now at outside centre.
Knock-on advantage over.
This is done. Starting 6 against Saracens, back in the second row tonight. Harding nicely away, and then McGinty and Ravouvou and Ibitoye. He doesn't need the door to be that wide. And a little nod of the head. Bristol are in the building.
And they finally get the reward. You thought
the fact that our system will take care of the way that Bristol play, and they will make mistakes. They're only human. They will make errors. So as long as we stay within system, at some point we're confident they'll cough the ball up. It's not to say they're not going to score tries, but we trust that over the course of 80 minutes that will give us the outcome and the performance that we want.
Brilliant. We'll let you go. Cheers, James.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
McGinty. Oh, now Ravouvou through the hole. The big dive, the big score. It's almost as if the Bears were caught in the traffic outside. They're here now.
Grondona runs a lovely line. It's his short line which holds the Saints defensive play, which opens up the space for Ravouvou out wide.
Ashton Gate finding its voice. Ibitoye running into the huge arms of Elliot Miller-Mills. This is Kloska through the academy. McGinty waits. Lazalde popped up in front of him, but it was McGinty. And then Bates helping the ball far wide to Luatua. Luatua keeps it alive. So too Bates. Bristol on the edge of the Bristol City penalty area. Batley rolling it up, and then beautifully laid back by Thacker, and then the twist and the turn for Ravouvou. And for the first time at Ashton Gate tonight, a bit of shushing and a bit of celebrating, because the Bears are ahead.
And there was so much good about that try, Nick.
9, not out.
Thacker wants it.
How nice was that footwork?
Just skipping around Pearson. Luatua. McGinty held it up for Lane, the fullback. Ravouvou. Bates to his right-hand side. Battle over halfway. Luatua. The carries as Luatua had, approaching the dozen. Ibitoye, oh, he did well to get that ball away. How about that? Elizalde, and that's to Wolstenholme, and that is utter magic. Joe Batley with the try. Get off your seats and don't stop shouting till bedtime.
I'll stand corrected, Nick. It was about 4 phases ago I was thinking, this is a good idea where Bristol could just maybe kick it.
They've gone quick, and Van Rensburg has it. And Bristol are on the front foot again, even if they are on their own 22.
No!
Numbers down this side.
And they've spotted it. Harding, lovely offload, drew in 2 defenders. Bates feeds Ogre, long way to go. No support anywhere near him. Ogre slows up effectively.
And legs full of lactic acid. Loads of space, loads of numbers left.
Need to move it quick. McGinty, Grondona, Ibitoye, van Rensburg, and now extra pace from Lane. Ravouvou on the outside, he's got the beating of Iskro, and Ravouvou is in. Outstanding score from the Bears. Just about as perfect an illustration of what they're all about as you could wish for. Kalaveti Ravouvou.
I said they've been dragging Harlequins around the field. Perfect example of that there. We're 13 minutes in and most of the players are out on their feet. It has been that quick a start. Lovely break down this side. Ogre realised he wasn't going to go anywhere, just biding his time. Compromised with how he fell there, Tyrone Green. Ball under his chest. Couldn't rotate round to get it back.
Okay, give it up now, please. Okay, use it. 9.
3 in the backfield for Bristol, waiting for this one. Murley, full steam here. Oh, timed it to perfection. What a tackle that was from Caden Murley. Bristol have done very well to secure the ball off the back of that challenge. And Marmion, show and go. Ibitoye alongside him, running a nice line, and he will streak clear. Bristol striking twice inside only 3 minutes. Marmion absolutely electric, and Ibitoye with a lovely line.
He's paid with an injury. Marmion, he stayed down after that offload. Let's hope that's just winded. But we mentioned about Will Evans' engine. It's him on that right-hand side guard position, and he just can't recover. The forwards are out on their feet. The last scrum was a gentleman's agreement. No one pushing.
Harding, too far away from another intercept, and once more Gabriel Ibitoye just lighting up the place.
I thought they were both very low, Stu, on that one, sir.
There's another example, isn't it? Stays on his feet, ball in one hand.
I've had a look at it, but it's all right.
This is super skill.
Fitz seems okay with it.
Like you said, Ali, probably just gets the weight of that pass wrong. Then I wasn't sure whether Porter actually knocked the ball down deliberately on the outside then.
A messy old line out, which has ended up in the arms of Laheath. And there might be some space on that left flank for Joe Owen to exploit. Infield to Ibitoye, Marmion with the support line, and Bristol just before half-time regain the lead. Do not take your eyes off this for 1 minute.
Cool, thank you.
The pace of Joe Owen, but
it's half-time.
He's on his bike early, he sees the opportunity, knows he's got some space, he's already got his
if you strike it before,
foot down on the accelerator, he's got the tight head in front of him, goes round Curran, and then he knows the pace.
There they go, they're going to tap and go.
Okay, we go. Let's go.
Just waiting for the medics to leave the field. Flacker to his right, Harding to his left. Here's Harding, holds it back beautifully, and they stroll it in through Mata.
That is an outstanding tap penalty move. The positioning of Thacker behind Marmion so he can run on that outside arc, has to hold defenders, and then the ball's flashed across. Fitzharding, brilliant handling. Maybe still reeling from this yellow card. That's the break. Kerrod retreating.
Marginally forward. Walker with the line out for Quins then. They're going to need some sort of response here, playing as they are with 14 men. Half an hour to play. And Bristol with this extraordinary away form as well. 8 on the spin, on the road in the Premiership. Ibitoye safe enough under the high ball as well. Mata, McGinty, van Rensburg. Oh, what a ball that is! That is a glorious pass for Jack Bates, and van Rensburg will finish it appropriately. Stunning in the midfield. That was a beautiful ball over the top. And here's an all-court player, we know that much.
One of the best players in the league for me. So aggressive.
The pull-back pass is so natural to all of them, isn't it?
They're all so adept at it. You look at any of the forwards could do it as well as any of those backs. And it's the timing. Square shoulders, flat at the line. Impossible to recover as a defender.
And they've trained it so hard that everybody's expecting it, and they're encouraged to throw the ball even when they're not entirely sure there's someone there. Trust that someone will arrive. And if it hits the deck, it hits the deck. That's beautiful. Double pump on the ball. Space now for Mata, crashing into defenders.
Okay.
Another double pump from Rensburg. Owen, Grondona. So good. Bristol are just easing through the gears, and they are swatting Quins away at the moment.
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. Starts with one of those pullbacks from Harry Thacker. The speed through the hands. No look, he knows someone's there.
Ride tackles the way he did, so it's great to see him scoring tries here at the Tigers.
McGinty pumps the restart long, and it was not easy for Cracknell. He got down on his knees but took it in the end.
He was fortunate that they'd strayed in front of the kicker, so the referee made them going back, and that gave Cracknell a run up when he probably wouldn't have had that.
Retreat in front!
Oh, Willem Pollard slips. Bit of rain in this area as we've all had in recent times. And then Ibitoye one-handed on the bounce to Luatua. And this is Fitzharding. Back to Luatua, who this time uses both hands to secure the ball. Randall. Away quickly by Dunn, and nicely. Oh, and how about that to Genge? And then Genge to Gabriel Ibitoye. Flash fingers, hot fingers. A brilliant Bears try.
A fantastic score comes from the Pollard slip. As he goes to kick it, that's standing left.
At least a half a break. Stewart waits. He's got one to his left. Stewart again takes the tackle, lays it back. Martin. Two Bears defenders waiting for him. Henderson. Over 5 minutes to half-time. A Leicester try here would be very handy.
Ball is out.
Cracknell. Thumped up by Liebenberg. Leicester doing it the old-fashioned way, and there's nothing wrong with that. Henderson.
Ball's there.
Hayes. That's gone forwards. Is that the second, third time Leicester have been that close and they've spilt it, Chris?
Try time here.
Meantime, Ravouvou not worrying too much about Leicester's woes. Ibitoye, Leicester are stretched here. You think Bristol have to score. Oh! Rich Lane! How did he catch that? Off he goes! And he puts it down. I mean, this is not one of the most extraordinary first halves of the season. This is one of the most extraordinary first halves I can ever remember. And Bristol are running everything and doing it fabulously.
Thank you.
I could feel that was going to happen. As soon as a turnover happened, Bristol just looked to play, and Leicester have committed so many bodies on that far side of the pitch. But look how alive Bristol are.
2 metres then.
Just a reminder, every time Bristol have got into Leicester's 22 so far, they have scored a try. This is the 6th visit. Hauled down by Luatua.
Backwards once.
O'Gray Cotton's back on. It's
that's White to floor first
being
here.
hauled infield. O'Gray, 5 metres short of a hat-trick. Tackled by Hayes. Here's Kloska.
The onside.
Randall with Luatua waiting. Bristol have already scored 5 first-half tries. Hungry for more. They've gone back to the Christmas dinner table.
The onside 9.
And they might yet get that 6th. They've been this close previously and they've always scored. Randall with Jack Bates waiting on the right-hand side. Bristol go the other way. And this is Harding.
Move! Ball's there.
Dunn waits. Now away to the left, and now Lane, and now the 6th, and Ibitoye. It's almost beyond words. It is attacking perfection. Rugby's equivalent of perfection, ball in hand in the opposition 22, half a dozen visits in this half, half a dozen tries.
You mentioned Benhard Janse van Rensburg's passing ability, the speed.
One-time chief Johnny Hill back for sale today. Henry Slade at 10 for Exeter. That'll be worth watching, just as this has been. It's felt like several hours since we had a try, however. Just the one so far in the second half for Leicester and Freddie Stewart.
Brilliant steal from Luatua there. Crucial moment, big momentum gain.
Kick from one centre to another. Leicester's first lost line out today. Pollard being scragged by Ravouvou, doing well to find Montosha, who was under enormous pressure.
Okay, let go of each other. Come on.
Pollard, Kata, Wand. Hassel-Collins, an awful lot of work to do. Charge down, try scored. Benhard Janse van Rensburg. This is not a side who need Christmas presents, but that one came wrapped, ribboned and bowed.
This is what Bristol do. They force you into trying to play at your own half. Instead of probably taking the right option under pressure, Leicester slowing that ruck down. Kicking a kick to contest, they shift it wide.
Henderson.
Our feet!
Looks like he's going to play a full 80, first Premiership start for a long time for Cameron Henderson. Ilioni. Being set up by Freddie Stewart. Cracknell. Think of the work rate of players like Stewart, like Cracknell. Absolutely given it all, but Bristol's defence beyond those early tries for Hassel-Collins and the latest one for Stewart, doing what they're doing right now.
Danger.
Yep, Marmion with devilish intent. So too Ravouvou. Off he goes. Wow. Oh, the speed of the man. Kalaveti Ravouvou. And then the dive. Have you ever seen anything like this Bristol performance today?
Oh, they've been outstanding. Ravouvou was already on 109 metres for his carry. He's nearly doubled that in that try-scoring march to the line. Just a slight error from Ilioni here. Here's the turnover, trying the offload. Leicester have to roll the dice and gamble, but just watch Ilioni.
The wind picking up, and Bristol playing into it. Williams for Byrne. Nice transfer for Lane. Lane taking on the defenders and making it to the 10-metre line. Randall, quick ball, Harding. Van Rensburg, this is better from Bristol. Thacker now, out of the back door. It wouldn't sit for Barker. And Saracens scoop it up. And then they fall off their feet at the ruck. It's taken quickly. And Randall's away, and here is Ravouvou, barrelling forwards and scoring. Well, that's a major lifeline for the Bears. Some quick thinking from Harry Randall, and the game changer himself, looking to change the game.
Fantastic finish. We thought he might have an impact. We hoped he might, and he has already. This guy here ran a decoy line a couple of phases ago, and it was before this, actually. He was desperate to get the ball. What he did...
They're more than capable of scoring one themselves.
Do you try and channel that frustration? Do you talk about the last time you were down here if you're a Newcastle player?
I think it's dangerous when it's that bad. I think you've got to write, and I'm sure Steve Diamond would have done that, you've got to write that sort of performance off, not even look at it, leave it in the cupboard.
Harry Byrne dabs it over the top, Lane in pursuit, Mata as well, and Mata scrambles it on the deck. Front foot ball for the Bears, unstructured, dangerous ball for the Bears.
Good defence from Callum Chick, just got in that passing lane, just made sure that Bristol stayed.
Chaotic this, Harry Byrne with a kick half charged. Lockwood recovers and then throws a dusty old pass. Heward, lovely cushion on the instep, scoops it up, slides home, predatory. A lot of self-harm from a Newcastle point of view. But how about the footballing skills of Noah Heward? Wonderful solo finish.
Yeah, brilliant calmness under pressure. Kick the ball through into space, acres of space in behind that defensive line that Newcastle had as the ball ricocheted off. That's what caused the problem. And it's normally Jamie Blamire who is holding the...
Scrum begins to pop up. And Bristol ordered to play. Harry Byrne kicks long and on the field. Ibitoye takes on the slide. Has a look at the bruisers in his crosshairs. And he is smithereened by Bill Mata. Torpedoed by a giant Fijian. Tell you what, he's taken it well. He's back in the attacking line again.
Sometimes you get hit that hard, and you end up bouncing off. I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to look at that again, but that was an incredible contact.
Bill Mata's made a career out of collisions like that. Here's his Fijian pal. Kalaveti Ravouvou has options on his shoulder. Marmion back to the Fijian. Ravouvou dragged down, but they will not stop him. And that right there is what Bristol do.
Well, it's from nothing. It's from absolutely nothing, and Bristol have gone, what, 80 metres? That man, Kalaveti Ravouvou.
And his reverse light's certainly not flashing there. Stewart with space and time to clear. And Rich Lane, once a landscaper and gardener before he got his big break at Bristol. Introducing Heward, running laterally. Can't escape the talons of Max Clark.
Good kick chase again from Newcastle.
Luatua, Lane again through the middle. Too quick for the forwards. Away he skips from Blamire. Rips the pass away to Ravouvou. The Fijian rampaging all the way in. Too ruthless. Too clinical. Too deadly.
I wonder whether we check for a forward pass. Certainly looked to be drifting that way, but it's an incredible line break from Rich Lane. But that man...
Ogre's throw looked a little squint there, but on we rage with Van Rensburg and Jenkins. Luatua, options on the inside, couldn't find them. Marmion, Burns sending it wide to Heward. Unbelievable take from Noah Heward. Left hand to left hip. Marmion, Luatua. Bristol at full flight. Harding, Jenkins, Van Rensburg, Ravouvou. He's on a hat-trick. This is Mata. A symphony of flying Fijians. Is that the match settling score for the Bears?
Well, so difficult for Newcastle in that situation, being one man down, but when you've got quality players that want to play with pace, it's all stemmed from that burst of energy, the burst of pace from Heward on that far touchline. For all money, he was going to drop that, and then the ability to just keep driving his legs to gain another 5 metres. It means Newcastle have to work extra hard in defence. And then it's simple stuff, isn't it? Picking defenders off. Ravouvou doing simple things well. And who doesn't want to see Mata in full flight? Literally.
Bristol, goodness me, they're down to the bare bones at fly half. We went through the list of absentees in the first half. Harry Byrne, that's a significant injury. It's a real concern for Pat Lam. Only saving grace that it's Prem Cup next weekend, albeit Harry Byrne was supposed to play in that to get him as embedded as possible into the Bears systems. Jake Keenan's off the bench. Here goes Luatua. Marmion. Bristol looking to kill the game here. Marmion against Stevenson. What a step that is. See you later. A firecracker finish from Kieran Marmion. Bristol with a double lightning strike. And that surely will be the match.
Well, it's the pace with which Bristol attack. Every time they get an opportunity and they make a line break, they surge through in support.
It's a bit. There he is, far left of your picture. His parents were actually on holiday in Ibiza when he found out he was going to make his Prem debut against the Bears, round 1 of the season. Spencer to Lockwood. Van Rensburg quickly upon it. Wonderful steal from Van Rensburg. Davis shuffles it back. Goodness me, this is loose, and Bristol could profit. Lure to it over the top. Wolstenholme. Ravouvou. Is this a hat-trick for Ravouvou? Wilkinson shuts the door. Harding. 14 carries, 13 tackles a game on average this season for the skipper. Kloska, Van Rensburg. Oh, that's magical. Diego Bailey on the outside. Too strong. And a game that hung in the balance 10 minutes ago now has a very one-sided and routish, emphatic feel to it.
Well, the acceleration from Diego Bailey is unbelievable.
Right, the ball did travel backwards by the Newcastle.
From a standing start, he's flown.
Fletcher, Wilkinson, Alex Herrell, fresh off the bench, fresh into the ribcage of Kalaveti Ravouvou. Davis, Wilkinson, and Lockwood still with plenty of juice in his boots. Ollie Fletcher, the young hooker, who will probably be first choice here next season with the departure of Jamie Blameyer. Conan Herrell rips the pass right to the touchline and to Callum Chick. Clock ticks into the red. Last chance for Newcastle. They've got to score a converted try from 94 metres here. Davis, Wilkinson has to gamble, does so. Van Rensburg onto it, Stewards. Bristol could punish them again here. Elizalde slaloming through like a matador, and Stewart has the final save for the Bears. Newcastle had to play with fire in their own 5-metre zone, and boy did they get their fingers burnt.
Well, they had to try something, did Newcastle. They had possession. They couldn't just shut up shop and kick it off. Tried something, didn't work. But Bristol...
I think Grondona takes the first player outside of 9. He just bites in, because 9 takes those few steps. He just draws him in, just entices him in. And as soon as he nibbles, lifts it up.
Ball won by Owen. Jimmy Root's late tackle, however, Williams goes through. We're not surprised about this start. We're in Bristol, for goodness sake. We're at Ashton Gate, for goodness sake. These things happen. These things are commonplace. 3 tries in about as many seconds.
Well, it's 3 kick-off receptions which haven't been received. Twice Bristol have kicked on a kick-off and they've got the ball back straight away. Great work from Watch.
Yeah, you're right there, Nick. You definitely get value for money at your tickets.
You certainly do. What a start. What about this restart? Oh, it's shaken! Janse van Rensburg! I almost can't speak, which is a problem when you're doing this job. Well, I don't know, you come up with your own words, I'm running out of them. It's a 5th try, straight from the kick-off. Benhard Janse van Rensburg. Well, you could see the rather perplexed look on Henry Slade's face, the arms in the air, but he has been taken off for an HIA, we presume, because the doctors up in the stands have picked out something that they saw earlier. That's brilliant. Here comes another one. It's Bates. And the Bears have 5.
Such good first place, set piece from Bristol, so inventive, creative, runners everywhere. You just don't know who to pick up. And Lane pops up. Jack Bates comes from nowhere, really, just on the shoulder.
James Dunn and co driving over the ball.
Fitzharding captain straight over to Maxwell Heath. He does so well to hustle and get the scrum after floor. Then it's Janse van Rensburg who joins him for the counter-attack, and they're off.
Here they go. Randall, and then Byrne, And now Bates for the hat-trick. Ashton Gate on its feet and bouncing and loving this. It's not 5-star entertainment, it is 6-star entertainment. Underlined in gold.
So good from Randall again. Doesn't matter if they've got 14 men, he's willing to take it on. Just goes across field because he knows he needs to get to that last defender, even rides the tackle. And this is great from Bates. Look at him just hold.
England colleagues.
Keep it up, keep it high. Keep it high.
It's there for Randall. Van Rensburg, hard and straight. McGinty's on the loop, throwing the dummy and carving through into the 22. Great field position this. Randall has a little go himself. Bailey chasing the ball. Van Rensburg.
Chest on chest, no head on head, on the ball.
Carl Dixon happy the challenge was legal. The Bears are beginning to tick. This is Ravouvou, great acceleration. Brilliant footwork as well, out of the back. That is insane!
Ibitoye with the try. Oh my goodness. Special, special, special.
Oh, this is why you've got to give this guy touches. He had 2 touches in the first 2 minutes, and Bristol showing their intent, wanting to get Ibitoye on the ball.
Leicester playing with a knock-on advantage.
Okay, using that, please.
Bailey and Ibitoye in the backfield for the Bears.
Time is over.
And Van Portfleet drifts it up the touchline. Here's Bailey going laterally and then trying to straighten. McGinty, Ibitoye. Van Rensburg running a lovely short line. Ibitoye floats it over the top. That one does work. Lane to Ravouvou. Pins his ears back. He's away. Big, broad Fijian smiles. And Bristol back in this one.
And that's where the offloading game works brilliantly. It's Ibitoye and Van Rensburg. This is the first one in traffic on his way down. And Ibitoye with the basket.
4 tries this afternoon, and Max Laheath trying to change the picture for Bristol. Mata. Van Rensburg and Jenkins beyond the 10-metre line. Ibitoye has come off the field for Bristol, which is why Kieran Marmion is occupying his place on the left wing currently. Here's Van Rensburg. Throws the dummy, goes through the hole, tries to link with Randall. Threads the needle beautifully. Randall scores, and Bristol fans still believe. They still believe because there's 15 minutes to play, and this side are capable of all sorts.
There's Ollie Hassel calling to. We think he needs to step in and make that shot.
You have to respect them, and that's when the ball out the back to McGinty slipping in behind, and that little loop play played dividends. Well, if it does come to this right-hand side.
Advantage, loose head, elbow to floor.
Well, they've got a penalty from the scrum here, Bristol. And Randall's going to play to the shorter side. Brings in McGinty. And the ball is there now for Harding. Tackle made by Augustus. Thacker restored to that starting hooker's jersey. Ibitoye got it away nicely. McGinty to Lane. Space for Bailey. Hutchinson on the chase. Bailey's in. Bristol strike first at the Gardens, as they surely needed to here. This contest so critical in the general complexion of their campaign. And Diego Bailey running it in for Bristol's first.
Really slick ball handling, just quick catch pass transfer. Lane is the one that throws one.
Northampton have just about clung on to that. Pollock pops it over the top for Mitchell. Hutchinson leaves it hanging, and Finn Smith is there. Williams is there also, and Mitchell's done well to work back and offer himself up as an alternative. Ibitoye. Bristol need a spark. Not that sort of spark. Well, maybe that sort of spark. It's Randall who's racing clear here. Ibitoye to his left, times the pass, cuts back infield,
One-handed, oh, doesn't need the offload, he'll go himself. There it is, an extraordinary score. It might just be what Bristol needs. It began with just about the worst chip you've ever seen in your life, but it's ended up with a try, and Bristol will be grateful for anything right now.
We can say this now with a smile on our face. It was an appalling kick and a really nicely taken try.
Sorry, AJ. All six of you are
play of the match.
Easy. I mean, I could have picked 17 or 18 Northampton Saints, to be honest. Could have picked either of those two on the right. I'm going to actually pick the guy in the middle, Alex Mitchell. I know that he was given what I call an armchair ride, I think, in the first half. But it ain't what you got, it's what you do with it. And he was fantastic. Bristol didn't deal with the ruck speed. And when he was given it, he tore them apart. Fantastic around the fringes. Defended well, as I said, when he had to. For me, the best rugby player on this field today. The Gallagher Premiership player of the match, Alex Mitchell.
Free kick from the scrum for Bristol, and there's space here for Ibitoye. This for the bonus. In he flies. The Bears have 4 tries now, so they will leave Franklin's Gardens with something.
We know that that could be so important come the end of the season. They do have a difficult run in, but
10 for the season now in the league.
Thank you.
Tackle. Use it, Bristol.
Owen. McGinty smashed in the tackle, and racing onto it is Seabrook, but they've kept it alive, Bristol, and Lane is taking on Kemeny, feeding now Lango, and they're going to get another one here, but look at things. Marmion's in the clear. Pollock hunting him down, but Marmion is away. And Bristol finishing with something of a flourish amongst some tired bodies. Still the enterprise, still the adventure, and the gap closed, but only a minute left on the clock.
Rich Lane's such a good player, you know. So often he looks so good for Bristol. That came from nothing.
13 is their average for this season. Kicks from hand in the Premiership, so at 12 already. That's definitely something different from Bristol's approach today.
Mata with the charge on the bounce for Randall, did well to get it away. Max Laheath on the ball for Bristol. We'll have a word with the Bath Director of Rugby, Johan van Graan, in a moment or two as Ogray slips it out. And away they come, and here comes Van Rensburg, and there's pace on the outside. There's Rich Lane on the outside, and Bristol break the shackles. Restored to the full complement. Van Rensburg back on the pitch. Rich Lane in.
It's a really good start of play from Bristol. They come back against the grain off that scrum, but they just create numbers. And if Bath have had one weakness this year...
DNA. Now Lango again, taking on defenders. Rounding 1 and 2. Offloading to Marmion. Another good tackle from de Glanville. Last-ditch effort, really. Slung out by Naulango. Ibitoye.
Advantage for offside.
Kloska. The arm outstretched. Penalty on its way if they want it. Ibitoye with a kick pass. Infield to Mata. It's Mata's score. And Bristol make absolutely sure. Their big day out, their big victory.
It's a penalty advantage, isn't it, Ibitoye?
So I think we've painted some good pictures, and hopefully we can build on that.
Thanks so much for your time, Dorian, appreciate it.
Cheers, mate.
Leave that microphone alone.
Crucial for this. Now Bristol, they need some time with ball in hand, particularly in the red zone. Great shot there on Janse van Rensburg.
And here's Randall, skating through, and he's clear. That's just brilliant from Harry Randall. Just what Bristol needed.
Oh, that's a brilliant finish. Eyes come up. Just has a little explore. There's the shot.
Here's Ogray. held up by McElroy. Mata gaining some traction here now through the middle of the ruck. Randall, Genge, more oomph to the carry for sure. Van Rensburg, each of them puncturing the gain line, these runners. Randall, McGinty, Grondona feeds Ravouvou. Good tackle from Carpenter, hangs on as well. Harding. Sale working so hard defensively. Genge again, backing off.
Thanks, boys. Stand up, pair of you.
And Ibitoye sends it wide. And now they set off for the try line. Through now, Lango, what a finish! A flying finish. And if he's nailed that down, all Bristol Bears supporters will be eternally grateful.
Well, Bristol have actually been playing quite narrow, but leaving one man...
Couldn't get in. Still should have converted, but one that got away for sure.
Brilliance from Capon on the initial break, though. He had to wait for everyone to catch up with him before he could pass the ball. Delivered a perfect pass. Dragged Sale over to one side and created that opportunity. They're going through the middle.
Yeah, once again, done to Capon once more. Now it's opening up again, Grondona. Ravouvou, one-on-one with O'Flaherty, straight through. Ravouvo's in. What's happened to the Sale defence all of a sudden? Bristol catching fire, almost certainly too late, but there still will be time.
They can play this Bristol team,
Where have they been? Where have they been? No one wants pragmatic Bristol. This is the fun Bristol we expect, and look at, I know the game is gone, and that's where they're at their most dangerous.
Mata. Grondona had an excellent day against Bath on debut some time ago now, grown in terms of his influence on this side. Mata again. Bristol hammering the door down in these early exchanges.
Good defence from Quins there, especially with Randall. They spoke about him in the week. You've got to get tight.
Kloska! Less than 2 minutes it's taken them. The Bears with their eyes on the prize.
Because they recycle from Randall, it allows them to go through the same channel, but those hands from McGinty, superb. And Ibitoye does the right thing. No, he's going into touch. That's as bad as a turnover.
Okay, yes, please.
Randall. Lovely outside break. Hewitt is there. Onwards to Ravouvou. A flying Fijian. One more time.
That's the pace of Harry Randall from the base. We know how good he is in a broken play, but from scrums as well. And it's Jamie Benson who goes up a little bit too high in the line. Just watch Benson here, a little bit high in the line, and then he can't recover, just stumbles that fraction of a second, and that allows...
And players, I think, thrive off him.
Options here for Randall, Williams, McGinty. That's beautiful. Bates to Ibitoye. 2 more steps, 1 more score. Bristol fans now surely believing top 4 is theirs.
That's brilliant, and the brilliance is that McGinty doesn't hesitate and doesn't wait for Bates to catch him up. They both set off at full tilt. Watch them, both of them at full tilt. Bates is trying to get there, and then he just appears out of the shadows.
No Max Malins, no Rich Lane. So Hewitt's fitness absolutely key for the Bears. Here's James Williams. Mata.
He deliberately threw it into him. No.
Harding, lovely handling. Batley with the footwork. Bristol beginning to find a few gears now. Genge trying to find a way through Ted Hill. Guy Peppers swept it up for Bath.
I think that was a knock-on by Alfie Barbary in the turnover.
Hammered downfield, and Muir is across at high speeds. Here comes Ravouvou. Slides past Muir, slides past to Glanville, and he's still on his way, battering through Spencer.
A joke from Ravouvou, the Fijians combining. This game, talk about high octane. Here's Fitzharding, Bristol, playing at breakneck pace. McGinty over the top, one-handed gather from Heward. Van Rensburg on the outside, Heward still going. All Bristol at the moment. Bath clinging on. Quick ball for Genge, he's done! That try, nothing less than a sensation from the Bristol Bears. The handling, the dynamism, the adventure.
This is stunning. Ravouvou back to the defenders, facing his own line, comes away.
Super quick. But all the way from here. Nice handling to Ibitoye. And Thacker, who's shaking off those defenders. Russell just limping a little bit back into position. Batley for the Bears. Little jab forwards. Van Rensburg's onto it. And the offload is a good one. Marmion brought down quickly though by Thokina Singer. Bristol desperate to keep the momentum. And Fitzharding floats a beautiful ball to Jimmy Williams, inside to Ibitoye. Big tackle from Donoghue.
Chosen not to place the ball.
Williams, Thacker. Harry Byrne is with us, and onwards they go through Max Laheath. A very weary Max Laheath by the look of things. Byrne dribbles it forwards. That's gone forwards, picked up by Van Rensburg.
Let's double check. I think so.
Christoph Ridley wants to check this out.
So Jacko on field. I think he throws.
Advantage Bristol.
Marmion. Williams. Van Rensburg. Surely enough now. Wreathed in smiles. Bristol are heading to the playoff party.
This is such a good use of two of your biggest attacking threats. McGinty this time's the decoy. He's floating out of the back, just in behind Van Rensburg. And then you got the power carry of Van Rensburg. Everyone expecting that to go out of the back.
Goal line, hands and feet! Hands and feet!
Batley organising. Cool heads required here. Still they drive, still they're shorts.
Advantage Bristol.
Playing with an advantage now, here's Grondona! Maybe that's the one. Bristol fans back up on their feet, believing once more the playoffs are there for the taking.
Oh, the atmosphere had changed totally in Ashton Gate after that last Harlequins try. Bit of nervousness from what had been a procession and a party.
Once more, the ball comes firing out, and Bristol think there might be something on here on the counter. Ravouvou sets off at high speed across. They come in defence, and Van Rensburg is there, pops it away basketball style. Randall brought down, clings onto it. Quinn's trying to get over the top of the ball. Rubiolo now for Bears. Harding in there too. Ravouvou, who started it all. Back to the short side, Van Rensburg. Desperation for Harlequins here. They're clinging on by their fingertips. Santi Grondona. One more charge into the Quins wall. Batley, McGinty, Williams, Ibitoye waiting. Ibitoye scoring. 12 for the campaign now for the Bristol Bears winger. And he's broken a Bristol record for a season's tally.
Where do we start with that passage of play? There was brilliance from Harlequins, but the turnover's made. The penalty
coming forward, then that gap wouldn't have been there.
There's the pick-up from Ravouvou, and the alarm bell's ringing again for Harlequins. Quick ball for Randall. Mata at full tilt. He's made it there. No one stopping Big Bill.
That is a coach's dream, not just because of the power carrying, but the decision making from Randall is what creates this try. He uses all the tools that he's got available